Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Happy Thursday evening. I was going to do this earlier, then I was like, well, Jeff does his thing, and I was checking for that. And then I realized, oh, yeah, he moved to Friday. So check out Jeff in Lower Alabama on Friday. You guys um, saw what happened today, right? The releases going to be awesome. Let me just share this out a little bit. I want to put it to, there we go. Pilot's Lounge. There we go. No big deal. All right. We're hanging out Thursday night. I know it's late, but so what? You guys weren't doing anything. We're going to clean up my desk a little bit and talk about today's releases. We'll do a reaction to the video from Horizon on the new Ultramicro 262 3S twin 30 millimeter EDF electric ducted fans. From what I've seen, it looks fantastic. Jason was talking to me last night through text. So we'll be getting one over here to share with you all as well. And some of you guys are already halfway there on the fun with the 262 because you have the Ultramicro Detroit Miss. So, ready for some dogfight action. And we'll talk about the release on the radio stuff too, which, turned your radios into a multi-channel machine. The NX10 and NX8 conceivably 20 channels now you have access to. And what, the NX7 and maybe I think it's the 6 perhaps. Anyway, you have like 14. And I think for some of us at first, we think that's crazy because when am I going to ever need that many channels? I was watching a video today, though, where check out Steve's RC, Steve Petrato. He works at Horizon, and he did a really good video today on it as well. I got about halfway through it, but he explained it really well. And when you think about how many servos, let's say you're doing a build that's just a little bit more advanced than what we're used to, right? How many channels does it end up being? Or if you have one of the planes where you want to split the aileron out of the Y and take advantage of the full span ailerons or crow or spoilers or things like that, all of a sudden you've exponentially increased the amount of channels you need to manipulate. And it's not a physical channel as much as it's a programmed function. Like think about aircraft type when you put one aileron, one flap. Well, if you do two ailerons, one flap, or two ailerons, two flaps, when you get in there to mess with travel adjustment, now it's specified left aileron, right aileron, left flap, right flap. So you can imagine on a bigger build, you maybe have 4 aileron servos, and now you've got the wherewithal to tweak and trim and dial in those surfaces. So I think setting up, full span, this and that, spoilers, flaps, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And the radios already have access to it. Now, I'll do a roll call here in a minute. I'm just pretty excited to be here and stuff. I don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. I kind of want to throw my landing gear back on my timber because I got it on floats, but I want it next time I'm able to go fly. I'll be more inclined to be flying it off of grass than I will be have the occasion to be on water again with it, and I'll just leave my beaver on floats. So I haven't played around with it other than I did the update today. I did the update to bring my radio current to the 4.0 firmware. And then when you get into the frame rate screen, that's where frame rate, it's right by the bind menu function on the radio. So if you go to frame rate where it usually says 22 milliseconds, whatever, that's where you can turn on. Let's just go ahead and do it. That's where you can turn on the more channels. So, for instance, I'm going to system setup from off the function list. Hold on a minute. My wife's texting me. We had kids here till about 5 minutes ago from the neighborhood. So hold on a minute, y'all. Hopefully she's watching. I can just tell her. All right. So system setup, you're going to scroll down to bind. It's by there. So frame rate is right above bind. So I'm in the system setup menu on my NX10. You guys that have 8s and even the 7E, it should be the same. So that is now, instead of just 22 milliseconds, it says servo mode default 22 milliseconds. X plus is inhibited, and DX18 compatibility is inhibited. This is where I would turn that on. And I'm not going to turn it on yet because I'm on my Viper 90 setup right now. And so I'm not going to mess with that. But that's where you're going to start to see the way to gain access to this extra functionality. And so you don't have to buy the new Plus radio because these have it if you do the updates. You know what I'm saying? So pretty cool. Yeah, we don't want to override model match and stuff. So there's more to learn about this. Check out Steve's RC. He does a good video talking about it. And of course, he's like hearing it from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? And there's going to be a lot of content coming out on this in the future. But everybody's pretty excited about this. And it just finally dropped today. So everybody's allowed to talk about it now. But I just wanted to give you like, it's easy to get in there and start playing with that. If yeah, right there on the NX10 you have, just do the I did the update over Wi-Fi today while I was just sitting here messing around. Did the Wi-Fi to 4.0. Actually, I'll tell you exactly what the numeric is for. Let me turn this off. 4.00 alpha is the update level on my NX10, and that gives me access to that where I can get in there and make things happen. Pretty neat. I don't know that I need to make it happen, but I definitely want to learn how to make it happen. So right now, we're going to clean up screws. I got my crawler that I was building, the kit it's all together. I still got to put the receiver in it and paint a body, decide what I'm going to do with it like that. But it's basically done. And I can show you guys that in a minute, but I want to clean up my mess here. And we'll do a little roll call. And we're going to watch that 262 video in a minute. I was so surprised and pumped by the information when I got it last night about this release. And you know how it is. Most of the time I have it already, but I didn't this time. And that's okay because it's on its way. It's coming. And hopefully, word is also, I'm pretty pumped up about that low C ready to run truggy and buggy. And it looks like the truggy started dropping, reaching people this week. So if you guys go over to Steve's RC, man, check out Steve Petrato. He, again, he's up there at Horizon. He knows what he's talking about. He just won. He just took first place in a scale competition with that big giant Red Bull Cub that some of you have probably seen if you're on Facebook at all. I know for a fact I'm going to watch the rest of his video because I want to hear what he's got to say. I watched about half of it. All right, little roll call action. Links in the description if you're interested in picking up a radio or, of course, checking out any of the new stuff that's come out recently at Horizon. Get your order in on the 262 if you haven't already. And I'd order up some batteries too if you don't have them. 3S. Links in the Discro. Take you right to Horizon. Man, let's just kind of start up at the top. I know some guys are watching other things. Fred Barron RC, what's up? He says hello to the Hangar Rats. Mike Bird, Boss 223, Jay Huff, EQ. Let's see. Jet Jockey RC, how's it going, Dad? Let's see. Mike Bird, did I say that? Fred Barron. It is a huge deal. It's neat. And I like how it's familiar. It's not like some coming out of left field thing. I think that new service radio is dynamite as well. Let's see. Beach Flyer, what's going on? Let's see. I'm going to skip ahead. RC Trends, Rage RC. Yeah, man. Just do the update. And it's there. The jet's pretty quiet. Yeah. David Snyder. I just won Carrier Pilot of the Year award flying the Skymaster F-14 from our tiny club airfield, says David Snyder. Rogers RC Aviation, Jerry Wilfong, what is going on? Fred Barron dropping the link to the website for me. Thanks so much. So, yeah, working on updating it now. Easy. M-Shag. Yeah, it depends how much you need your radio to do, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's pretty neat. I'm happy with what I have, but it's basically, it's the IX. So, all the crazy functionality you could have an IX radio they have now in a surface situation. So that's pretty neat. So, yeah. I posted on Facebook that we were doing this tonight. We're going to take a look at the Horizon video for this 262 and maybe poke around the site a little bit. Eight channel for full fat crawlers. I wonder if that's something they might be able to turn on in the future. More channels. What functions are needed other than basic stuff for surface? It depends on the complexity of the build. I mean, basically, I'm thinking winches and lights if you want to be able to turn them off and on and things like that. I know there's one guy that makes these almost fully animated driver figures on his rigs. So more channels for a fellow like that would be fantastic. And he's probably already using something open source with a ton of programmability, Yeah, diff locks, winches, transmissions, different speeds, dig, rear steer, lights, etc. Yeah. M-Shag, man, it's been a minute since you've been over here. Thanks for coming by, man. It's been a minute. Jay Woody says hi. Yeah, we got 18 in here. We're chilling on a late Thursday update show, playing some baseball, drinking some Dr. Pepper. Mountain RC in the house. Too late for the making a coffee. I do want to show you my crawler kit I got built, And right now I got a clear, unpainted Morvair body sitting on it, and it looks pretty mean. It looks pretty good. I think that's probably the body I'm gonna put on it, but I gotta paint it, man. And my international yellow and white truck project I'm working on, the wheelbase doesn't jive. And so I have a Red Cat chassis that's perfect for it. So that's what I'm going to end up making for that. But even the Morvair, I'm going to have to stretch it out so it centers on the arches. So, man, I can't decide what I'm going to do, man. But I'll show you what I'm working on and what I'm looking at because it's pretty hot. But I don't want to rush this body because it needs to look good. I'm either going to do it like Matt's Off-Road Recovery or just do something completely else. I kind of like the colors I have going with stuff like this already. But how many of those do I want? What's up, Doughboy? Toddler life with a 3-year-old. Yeah, man. You were probably hanging out with us when that happened. Toddler life. Sometimes that's why the surface stuff is nice, man, or a little when you finally get a minute, slap a kit together. Because it gets, man, you got to prioritize yourself a little bit, or you'll easily end up on the back burner. And that's okay. That's a lot of times where we put ourselves, but make some time for yourself. I'm so glad I have buddies that ask me, like, hey, I'm going out, man. You know, they want you to come, or they let you know when they're going because that makes me go. You know what I mean? That like motivates me to go as well. When you're thirsty, it's the best drink you've ever had. Jerry, I hear you. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the video for Horizon. We're going to check this out. Yep, you got to lock it in when you can, dude. And don't be mad at yourself when you know how long I wanted to build this kit forever. And I finally got into it, and then it sat for a minute, and I'm like, boy, it's only half built. If I don't push through, I finished it last night. I got everything built except for the it was time to start this. Let me show you. And then we're gonna do the 262. This is just sitting here. It is not on in any kind of way yet. And I don't like I'm gonna have to stretch it out to get this rear wheels to center in the arches. But man, dig the shape of this body, bro. Classic. And the lights and stuff. This is the Morvair from Matt's Off-Road Recovery. So that's kind of neat. I think that's going to be cool. But yeah, this was I just had the axles and the motor pod and the links in 3 different units last night. And so the chassis rails and everything else, shocks and everything else got assembled last night. It was actually a late night for me, and I kind of suffered all day because of it. And some of you guys know I do the shock mod where I lower the ride height of the vehicle to achieve a lower center of gravity. And I did that on this one right out of the box. And if you can see, it'll be easier on one of these. So see the shock perch here. It shares position with the links. So all I got to do is source an extra screw, throw on a washer since there's no boss to hold it, and I lower the whole truck about a half inch because the perch is up above that for the shock itself. So I just already know I like that. And so I went ahead and just did it out of the box on this one. So this is the Base Camp Builders Kit. And I haven't done the battery tray or whatever, but I did do my shock mod. I threw on some wheels. These are smaller wheels for my crawler buddies. So they're 1.9 rims, but they're what they call 4.19 tires instead of like, see how big that is? This is more of a standard crawler tire for a 10 scale, and it's a 4.75 inch outer diameter versus a 4.19. But this size of tire I rarely use, but I have on the FJ55 build behind me that I did the other day off a kit. It has small tires because it came with them. And then my Winnebago Tonka truck needed small tires. And I was like, you know what? I'll do small tires again because that may be what I want on the more Vare. But what's cool about these small tires is that they're on 1.9s. So I can swap them and put them on any kind of rims I want. And these tires can go on any of the other rims I have because I have so many 1.9 bead locks. So here, this will be another look at this. I haven't done any body mounting at all yet. It's not a great angle, but you can imagine it's going to look pretty good. I think these tires actually work pretty good. I did crawl with these tires on my CJ. They looked a little small, but the truck still did fine, and it brought the truck down even more. If it's about lower in the center of gravity a little bit. So, I mean, honestly, dude, big tires are more appropriate. If you're familiar at all with Matt's off-road recovery, like it's not nuts to think of something this size on here. Check that out. What's up, Scotty Story? So let me just kind of cheat it. That looks a little weird, but I assure you it's really not. If you look at Matt's Off-Road Recovery, those big Patagonias, they fit in there about like that. But what's crazy is how appropriate and scale that looks, though. That looks really good. So I can't go wrong either way. And that's what's so nice about having a bunch of different tires to choose from. But yeah, building a kit is a lot of fun, whether it's a crawler, a Tamiya kit, an airplane, whatever. But once you start, get it done, or it'll just be forever before you get to it. What's up? Jerry, Ron, Jeremy, Reckham Roy, what up? So yeah, I did the dig lockout. I don't need the dig servo. I would have done the dig servo, but I didn't have one that fit. So I just did the dig lockout. The manual's really good on the build on this Base Camp Builders Kit. And it's pretty affordable too. And like I said, a little bit of tweaking and you can make these things perform even better than they're intended to. And I think that's a riot, taking something and making it a little bit better. And there's ways to stretch out the wheelbase, longer links is one. Worst thing happens is you've got to stretch out your drive shafts if they're not telescopic enough to handle that. So let's look. I'm digging it though, dudes. I'm digging it. Yeah, you can see the tires are off of the CJ because I tried these on there. My Patagonias are in the backpack in the car, but don't knock it till you try it. It's a tremendous amount of fun, y'all. Anyway, I'll just leave it here. Proline wheels. Those are KMC like mud terrains 419s. They were new the other day and I ordered them up. And then those are some nice aluminum faced Proline wheels as well. And then I got that Fusion 2-in-1 brushless power system in there. Yeah, so that's the first axial kit I ever built right there. Pretty neat. So we are going to check out, and Scotty, if you want to talk about crawlers, dude, or a good first one to get, let me know. We can do that. We'll circle back to it in a minute. I want to show you guys. Let me pull it up first. The 262. Dude, I watched Nate fly his because I didn't. Brian, I think, put out a 2.5-hour video on it. And the Patagonias are sick, Fred. I've got some small Pats too. So I got regular size 475 Patagonias, and then I got the 419 Patagonias, which are on the FJ55 right now. They may end up on these rims and riding underneath the Morvair. I can't decide what size I'm going with though yet. I almost need to get that body painted. I kind of want to do it like Matt's off-road recovery, and they're really big, dude. All right, so let me pull this up. He had a hard time with it. Hold on a minute now. I wish I had the numbers so there was no doubt about me having this stuff on release time. Everybody else got it. Whatever. I'll try to not let it hurt my feelings. So let's see. Here we go. And we're going to also shut it up because we're not going to listen to the music. So let me share it out. Come on. There we go. Now we're going to. He didn't have a good time with it, huh, Jerry? Whatever. So I'll get it when I get it. Anyhow, so I mean, I haven't sacrificed enough for RC. I know that's probably what it is. Let's see. So we're gonna share screen, and here it is. Let's watch it. All right, let's check this video out, man. What was released was an ultra micro, bad to the bone, taking cues on my cell phone, 3S twin 30 millimeter EDF ducted fan, 262. Thanks, Pops. He tried spoiler-ons. Philip, yeah, I think they're going to be sick. And there's a link in the description if you want to click to Horizon to check it out. Click in and look at new releases. So it shows an IC2 connector, an 850, and a 600 milliamp Spectrum battery. and it's ultra micro, so it's not going to kill you. This thing should land well in the grass as well. You can just go to the new update, boss. You don't have to go progressively through it. And if you have the Detroit Mist, you're ready for a dogfight already. First time you've seen it? Oh man. That's why you guys subscribe to Pilot Ryan Media, right? Because when it's cool, I'll pop out. I'll pop on. It looks good. Yeah, Fred. Fred got one like early today. Fred and Eddie for sure already got one. They told me. And they used my link. Thank you so much. What's up, Lyndon? Yeah, Ultra Micro 262. If you've ever been on the fence about a 262, like, man, there's low barrier to entry on this version. And then here's a nice little, perfect little grasser. I'm digging it. And apparently it's not like super loud. You know what I mean? I'll just let that rock too. Aw, man, get out of town. Nice. Doughboy ordered already too. Got to get that cookie, dude. So, all right, let me just get out of here then, since it's being stupid about how cool is that? There's a 262. Let's see. So yeah, boss, you do not have to do every update. You can just go to the newest ones and do it. You don't have to play catch up. Pretty neat. I want to play some of the other videos on this, but I'm not gonna. But I can't wait to get one. I'm still waiting on an Aero Scout while you messing. I think that would be great to have one of those as well. So yeah, what else? I'm not going to keep you too long. We're looking at 35 minutes about right now. Livery makes it a sweet little brother to the other one. Jerry, I updated today to my NX10 to the 20 channels. It was super easy. Have you done it yet, Jerry? So you'll update to the new 4.0 update. And if you update over Wi-Fi, that's the one it's going to be. So it's not like you can pick wrong. It will be the most current update. And then after you're done updating, you go into system setup menu and you scroll to frame rate where it says 22 milliseconds. And that's where you can uninhibit the plus features to start to begin playing with the extra channels. I get it, Jerry. Yeah. Doughboy, yeah, man, I can make a link to do it, but if you just go to the link in the description for any of the Horizon products that are in my description link, description box, that'll get you to the site and you can just find it, and that works. Or you can go to pilotryanmedia.com and just click the Horizon logo. That works too. I haven't put a specific one in yet, but any of those links take you to Horizon. And as long as you're clicking in through me, it doesn't matter how many other products you look at or whatever. I appreciate that. Thanks. I cannot wait to get it. And I think he told me last night out of guilt because this is a cool release and I didn't get it. I think is probably what it is. So I'm excited about it, man. I got the Detroit Miss as well. Um, the F-86. My Detroit Misses. I think it must be outside. It's gonna be fun. Brand new release today, Roy. Yeah. Brand new release today. I didn't have one. That's why you didn't see a video from me, but we're talking about it now, though. We're talking about it now. I got a cool boat sitting here. I can't wait to get in the water. This weekend is the last weekend of lacrosse tournaments, travel lacrosse team tournaments. And so this weekend I will be busy. But I did get out last weekend and filmed a flight with Kirk on the FMS 80 millimeter Rafale. I know Bobby and I did a video on that a long time ago, but check out the new video. I cut in a lot of the best footage from the original video in with this flight. And that's fun. So that came out last week, very recently. And then we did a float flying video with the Beaver and the twin timber on floats. And that was cool. So check those videos out. And I have an F-86 video that I need to get edited up as well. This weekend's been going to be nuts. And I'm kind of to a good stopping point now where I'm like, with this, I'm like, all right, I got a body to do, but at least the truck is built. I can chill on that. Thank you, Doughboy. Yeah, Rage just finished the update and activated 20 channels. Pretty cool. Lyndon asks, is the four-wheel drive race cars faster than two-wheel drive race cars or trucks? They're faster because they're easier to control. Four-wheel drive is easier to control than two-wheel drive is. So it just depends what you want to do. I'm racing two-wheel drive stuff because that's the biggest classes around here. And if I wanted to race with other guys, that's what I did. But the outside racing, four-wheel drive is king. So the stuff I'm racing that's two-wheel drive is 10 scale, short course truck, and buggy. But if I'm racing outside, 8 scale, four-wheel drive is what it's all about. I'm hoping to get one of the new truggies or the buggy. I don't even care. From Losi, the 8 scale four-wheel drive stuff. Those are race rigs, but they're coming ready to run. So you don't have to go through all that. And I don't mind building stuff. I really don't. But with the racing, I just tend to default to those who have more experience than me. So it's like, if Losi is setting up a dope race rig out of the box, cool. The race rigs that I have, I bought them built, even though they come as kits. I had the opportunity to buy them as rollers, and had great people around me that finished them off. So I didn't have to do anything to them. I've tweaked them a little bit. I've done some minor repairs, but I have not messed with my race rigs at all. And if I had to pick, I'd rather build crawlers or airplanes than race cars. But I don't mind. I mean, I've fixed a ton of cars, so whatever's cool. I just want to race, though. You know what I mean? When I sit and chill, I want to chill with a four-wheel drive truck. I don't want to build a race car. Because they're RC race car. The thing about these crawlers is they really are scaled down four-wheel drive vehicles, and I think that's what I like them. You know what I mean? Because they really do emulate trail trucks and rock crawlers and stuff like that. when you do a basher or like a race kit, it doesn't emulate nothing. It's just an RC race car. And I mean, it's cool, but yeah. I mean, I did some things. I did do the chassis swap for that oval car I have, stuff like that. But I'd rather build another crawler than a race kit. So the fact that those ready to run low Cs are around, I'm into it. And because they're four-wheel drive, four-wheel drive's easier for me because I started off bashing. Like I know how to jump them and fly them and control those wheels to get it to pitch the way I want and whip it and things like that. It's not the same on two-wheel drive. And ripping the drift through a turn, four-wheel drive, you can just rip it through a turn, but you have to get out of the power on two-wheel drive so the front end loads up and those wheels are actually effective in turning the vehicle. Otherwise, you'll just push through and nothing much happens. So pretty neat. Pretty neat. There's only 15 of us. I won't keep you too long. Two-wheel drive does make you a better driver, but it is harder to control. And my thing is, I feel like the four-wheel drive, people get that speed, fun bug to bite them quicker than two-wheel drive. Like they're easier to have success on a four-wheel drive. So, I mean, if you're doing bashers, there's no reason to even consider two-wheel drive if you're doing a basher. If you ask me, it's like, why bother? Now, racing, sure, fine. But M Shags doing all he can to resist buying one of those baby Mojaves. Dude, those things look so cool. I do have the baby Typhon. So sick. It is a tight little unit, man. It is nice. So the Mojave is going to be a little bit longer chassis than this one. And of course have the body. I really wanted the Mojave, but I didn't want to wait and these were available. Let me take the lid off for you. I mean, it is compact. It takes this little battery, 1400 IC2 2S. Had a great race with two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive slashes. It does depend on the driver. I won my first race. I won the B main with a two-wheel drive slash off the shelf, bro. Against guys that had built rigs. I thought it was hilarious. So here's the internals. Basically what it's going to be like inside your Mojave, except you'll have a little bit more space. So there's a huge heat shrink on the sink on the motor, and then your 2-in-1 up there. And pardon, and your drive shaft and everything is out of sight, so you're not going to get your wires and stuff all wound up tight. And it's, nice hardware, 2mm hardware, 1.5mm hardware, like any other basher. So, easy to work on. But it's a solid unit, man. It's a solid unit. Servo, and yeah, it's all up here. Super nice. Fred's got 4 of the Typhons and both of the Mojaves. Sick. Yeah, I think these would be epic to race. And those NASCAR ones are coming down the line. Those would be just killer. Sick and killer at once is Siller. And this body's no joke, man. It's tough. No doubt. And check out the clicking mechanisms. This little plastic bit here keys into the shock tower in the back. And that bit in the front does its job as well. Like so nice. You click it in the back first, and then there it is. Ready to rock. Small scale is getting popular, and I think it's getting popular for a couple reasons. People's money is funny, and the small stuff used to suck. It's when those first granite groms came out, I was like, yes, because here we got something small now that's actually a little bit more durable and not so specific as the mini Bs and mini Ts, which a bunch of us had and are awesome. But here we got little bashers that we can race and jump, and they're going to take a beating, and they're fixable, and it feels substantial. And it's under $2. It's like they're like 150. The range is like what? 129, 169 on these Groms. And if you get a handful of them, then you got batteries for days. The thing about Surface, though, is if you're gonna do it, get a few, because there is nothing funner than racing with someone else. I'm telling you. Also, if one breaks, then you always got something to run too. And I think that's nice. This is the radio the Grom comes with. Not bad. You're not lying, M Shag. 8S Creighton, yeah, you need some room. And it's going to tear your yard up. I mean, it's awesome. Even the 6S Creighton, and I have one. I've had a few. I really do like them a lot. But it's nice that you have these. Now, people who don't want to cough up the big money for something humongous can enjoy what it's all about. Team Associated and Lozy were the only ones who made good small scale stuff before. I'd agree with that. Yeah, dude, so much more fun with others. I'm an airplane guy, as you know, and then I started bashing. And when I was bashing, I was doing it by myself. It took a long time to get Bobby into it. And I was bashing by myself, bunch of 6S stuff, made some really good videos at BMX tracks. Check out my RC truck playlist. And I learned how to do it, and these were awesome. There's 6S, 8S trucks. I learned how to send them and land them and flip them and all the stuff. And those are pretty fancy, those are big money, for me, starting from scratch, basically on Surface. And then the 100-mile-an-hour stuff started coming around. And, that was interesting. And I remember being in Alabama with Bobby K was interested in those rally cars from Traxxas, and I never gave a rip about it at all. And then, but you could never get one. And so it kind of made us think like, man, this must be good. You can never get one, whatever. And anyway, so we're at Alabama. We check out a hobby shop there, and dude had like 4 of them. So we got 3 or 4 of them. And after we were in Alabama, guys were running 100-mile-an-hour stuff on the runway. And then I open up this brushed 4-wheel drive 2S LiPo rally car after driving stuff that was 100 mile an hour. I drove it up and down the runway, and I was like, this sucks. Later that night, though, we all plugged them in, made some little makeshift course around the pits and through behind the fence and everything. The most fun I've ever had doing RC Surface was racing those things that weren't all that fast. So a handful of these little things, man, I'm telling you, you could have a ball. Cul-de-sac races, parking lot races, baseball diamond races. Chances are there's baseball diamonds all around the country that aren't getting used. You're not going to make anybody mad. Um, those are still super popular, Doughboy, but other people have them now too. You look at the Arma Sinton, and it's a short course truck like the Slash is. Kind of trophy truck deal. And you can run them on 2S and 3S, and they're super tough. And the neat thing think about the 3S lineup at Arma. Same with the Grom lineup. A lot of parts are going to be interchangeable. Only the specific stuff, like if there's a difference in wheelbase, like chassis and drive shafts are going to be different. But like arms and gearing and diffs and all that stuff's going to be the same. When I was doing this bashing stuff, I started, like I said, with the 6S things. Dude, I had a handful of different 6S vehicles that all took the same A-arms, all took the same shock towers. Really, the only difference was sometimes the shocks, the chassis because of the wheelbase, and drive shafts. But otherwise, once you had a handful of parts, you were kind of good to keep them going. Diffs and all, See you later, boss. Noont's in the house. Ultramicroplanes are awesome, and I ordered it, and I'm super looking forward to getting that new ultra micro slow ultra stick, because it is a micro and it is gonna fly really light, like the old Ember. I've got some micros and I like them, but some of them are heavy enough that they gobble up the ground, right? Like you need some space actually to fly them. And so, like that ultra slow ultra stick, dude, I can't wait till it comes, because I will fly that in the front yard. Fred, that's a hell of a truck, dude. Solid rear axle. That thing looks mean. The Ford F100 Baja Ray. Oh, sick. Now you need the other one. Man, you got quite a collection, Fred. Appreciate that. That is a killer truck, dude. I've driven one before, but it was the one before, a slightly different body design, but same solid rear axle goodness. And people want to go 3S on those things. 2S is plenty. It rips on 2S. Folks that do go 3S on that stuff wonder why their drivetrain doesn't last. Well, how much wind can the stick take? Well, it's got stabilization. It ought to do pretty good. I don't have one yet, man. I ordered it when they came out, so I didn't get one as an influencer because I suck now. But I think it can take it ought to be able to take more than the Ember can used to be able to. So yeah. $854.08. It's later than that. Nice. What's up, Big Jim? What up, man? We were talking about the new release. We watched the video of the 262, talked about 20 channels a little bit, making things happen, cashing checks, making sound effects. 11:08 my time. Yes, sir. Thanks. Refresh. Yeah, man. Takes minutes sometimes. Big Jim, dude. Got to get the new 262. Everybody else is. Make it happen, dog. I can't wait to get mine, man. I saw the videos on it last night because somebody sent me one. Uh, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was coming. Neither did anybody else. I mean, Nate said he got his the day before or something, I think, in his video. And sometimes that's how that goes. I didn't get mine yet. 6,000 extra points, $15 for elite members on the 262. That's what's up. Wild Bill in the house. So yeah, we'll call it an hour show. We'll wrap up in a few minutes. But I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about it since I didn't get a video out on it, since I don't have it yet. I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to let you know how easy it was to get the 20 channels going with the update. Doughboy almost ordered the stick to fly in the front yard. Dude, I'm telling you, I have flown my other stuff around here and I always end up in a tree because they gobble up a bunch of ground. So that, and I fly above the trees if I'm flying my other micros around here. But that little slow flyer ultra stick, bro, I'm going to be able to keep it down like with me, eye level. You know what I mean? I'll be flying around the trunks of trees, not above the leaf plume. You know, biggest diff with the plus radios, functionality of programming. It's not something that everybody's going to need, but if you, let's say you build a wood plane and it's got a handful of servos, you know, most of our radios, like 2 aileron, 2 flaps, is kind of as high as it goes, which means you would have program functionality for like a left aileron, a right aileron. That's how you can do easy flaperon and spoilers and that kind of stuff, setups. But if you had a bigger plane that, say, it had 4 aileron servos and 4 or 2 flap servos and stuff like that, now all of a sudden you've gobbled up a whole lot of channels. So it'd be a lot more programmability there. And it's not like you need the switches. You know, imagine that. Think about the channels it takes to do 4 different ailerons that are working together to achieve a job. That's 4 channels, but it's one stick that's doing it. So that's kind of what's up. The slow ultra stick, let's watch a video on that one real quick. We might as well. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because I've said it before lately, and I used to not give a rip about the little stuff, but man, it's getting good. So, like, I'm paying attention, and I'm pretty turned up about that slow ultra stick. So let's do it, man. Hold on. E-Flight Sus UMX. See, something ain't right about that. Dude's got a gazillion subs, but only 3,000 views on a new release. That don't seem legitimate. Just talking out loud. I mean, that doesn't seem right, man. Huh. Hmm. Funny. Funny, ain't it? All right, this video is only a minute 14, but we are going to watch it. And I don't know if they've shipped yet or not. I have not got mine yet because I ordered that slow ultra stick because I want it, man. Bro, come on. Why does it do this to me? Gosh. Don't. I didn't shut anything down. Am I even here still? All right. Let me see if I can screw this up. Five out of five, he says. And not on my side. I can't see your comments. It's all goofy. The 8 plus advertises 20 channels. Why is it not a 20 plus? Man, that's a great question that I have no idea the answer to. And how's come? Okay. All right. I see what you're doing here. Gosh, so dumb sometimes. I'll take that. Okay. So this thing looks like it weighs nothing, and it shouldn't weigh much. And so for that reason, yep, I had the Ember, bro, 2008. I'm pumped about it. There's Pete flying it. Yeah, exactly. Down low, nice and slow. Picnic table. There you go. I can dig it. Oh, yeah, it'd be a great indoor flyer. I have to imagine it has stabilization. It may not need it. It's like a super vapor. Yeah. What's this about? Hold on a minute. That video is from a year ago. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. 602,000 subs. I would think if I had that many subs and I put out a new video today, I'd have more than 3,000 views on it. Just saying. Doughboy, you're getting one. Yeah, dude, I told you, dude, that thing is for that micro vibe you want. the function of the micro to be able to fly it in a small spot without having to go somewhere else, it fits the bill. It fits the bill. I mean, I like my little ultra micro timber evolution, and of course Mustangs and stuff like that. But they're not slow. Uh, you got to take them somewhere. But that little dude right there, come on, man. That's what I mean. That's why I got it, because I think it'll be legit fly it out to the mailbox kind of stuff, you know, backyard. I'd look out over my backyard. This is my office, and you can't see now because it's dark, but except for this wall here, it's windows, even up there. And I think I'd be able to fly from in here, to be honest with you. With that, I can. And I got trees and swing set and stuff, but I think I'd be able to do it. We'll see. We'll see. As soon as it comes, I'll get it done. So anything you guys want to talk about really fast? I'm gonna get. It's been an hour. It's a Thursday night. It's gonna be a busy weekend for me. A lot of driving, but me and my boy gonna hang out. He's got a couple days of lacrosse tournaments, and that's it. We're gonna be hanging out in like Indianapolis, somewhere around Indy, I guess, and just chilling. The boys, me and my boy. I think we're gonna do some. There's this crazy like golf and eat at the same time place or something. I don't know. We're doing it. If the sports are involved, we're doing it. Jake says get a Concorde RC plane that's like 8 foot tall if they have them still. I think some kind of shape like that would be almost, you could make it. You could almost make it. See, man, not every jet has to go fast. For me, the idea of the Concorde, you know what I want to do with it? That's it. I want to slow fly it and land it. That's really all I want out of one. Keith Christie's got a problem. Let's try to help him. It does look like a Dorito, man. Um, dude's got a weird one. Let's put this one up. Wants to roll left. Trim it. Then with flaps down, wants to roll even more to the left. Check mechanical throws. All looks good. Help. Have you flown it before and it was fine, but now it's acting goofy? Or has it always been this way? I wants to roll left. So you trim in right. And then with flaps down, it wants to roll even more to the left. Check mechanical throws. All looks good. Did you give yourself some right? Return your physically make it happen. After you return your trims to like neutral, put them to where you trimmed them. No new, but always has a left tendency. When you're like climbing out or just in level flight? Any rudder aileron mix, asks Fred. I'd say don't do that if you were asking me, but one thing I would do, and people miss it sometimes, is look at the rudder. Is your rudder off to the left? Sometimes it's easy to miss that. Yep, reset trim and adjusted mechanical level flight, no mix. And it's still doing it. Here's one thing I would say to consider. And I never did this, but I should have and I wanted to. I don't have the plane anymore. So we use a lot of his flight modes for trimmed full left and right on rudder. Didn't seem to do anything. Should have a little bit of down and right thrust on the motor box. Make sure that's all right. You know, on climb out, that going left is normal. Any mixes by accident. Was it a plug and play? Is it a different receiver or is it the receiver it came with? Anyway, what I'm getting at is flight modes. Like I would have the P-38 trimmed out for level flight. Awesome. Put the flaps in and I'm trimming a ton of roll. It was just a mess. And it was just it's a foamy plane, dude. That's why. And so and I love shooting landing. So I would trim it then for the flaps down and perfect until I clean it up and put the flaps back up. And now I'm back to being out. So that's a perfect opportunity to do flight modes, right? So get it dialed in clean, trimmed, dialed in clean. And if you set up flight modes, you can trim and stuff with the flaps down and it'll remember that. And you can get this thing rock solid in both configurations and have maybe more fun with it. Something to think about. And honestly, man, I always want to have people look at their elevator too. Does it do it more when you're pulling up or any kind of upline maneuvers, or is it just all the time? If you see it more pronounced when you're pulling up lines, then it could be something's loose on your elevator joiner plastic glue joint to foam deal, where one side's pulling more than the other, deflection wise. Sometimes that's something to look out. Yep, elevator surfaces level or firm. You know what I'm saying? Like it might look fine, but is there play in one's half of the elevator? Is the glue joint good? I mean, I know there's a joiner, so the plastic bits could be fine. It seems odd. Trimmed has about 2 millimeter of aileron deflection. Man, honestly, on a plane that big, that's not too bad for being out of foam. Elevator seems straight. You never want it, but at least it's not a 1/4 inch. Man, I've got some stuff that's just like, what in the hell with the trim, but that's what it needs. Wing maybe just warped a little tiny bit or something. But that's what it was on that P-38. It's just the flaps were, so it was like, I'm picking which one I want it to be right for and then trimming when I'm in the other configuration. If I set up flight modes for that, I would have only had to do that once, the trimming in 2 configurations instead of every time I flew it. I wish I had more time, bro. I never would have sold that plane. I had the dope suspension on that thing, dude. On a rainy day, though, y'all, building these kits is funner than hell, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Uh-oh. That was my charger to my super duper gyro drill. Two millimeters of aileron deflection. Already been in main gear with a near perfect landing. Yikes. Are the flaps neutral? They evened up. Man, I'm waiting on the flap servo. I can't wait to get my Trojan fixed. Cannot wait. I always lie about when I'm getting off. I said I was going to leave 16 minutes ago. What? Anything else? Anybody? 11-foot airliner. Yikes. That's big. Huh. Any prop strikes? Is the motor mount tight? Dude, I'm about to get, I can't, I ordered 2 servos. I got 1. Come on, man. Wild Bill says, hey to dad. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Be watching out for Jeff in Lower Alabama tomorrow. Saturday. Oh, that's fun, Big Jim. I didn't see that. Saturday's Bobby, if he does it. And Sunday I'll be on probably, even though I'm out of towner on the weekend. I should be good for Sunday night. Thanks all you guys for clicking the links and coming over. Thank you guys who are members of the channel. Thank you guys for doing super chats. Thank you guys for being with me for so long. OGE dogs. I mean, really, the numbers don't say it, but everybody knows it's true. Thanks a lot, y'all. Let's keep me in it, because that's how I learn these things, and I'm able to help so many people by having a familiarity with the stuff, man. It's pretty good. It's pretty good being able to have that effect on so many different folks from so many different kind of sides of the hobby. It's pretty neat. I really do like promotions, though, and marketing a little bit would be fun. So yeah, Jeff in Lower Alabama, he changed his night. He'll be on tomorrow. Bobby on Saturday. Usually, I'll be on Sunday. Wild Bill's taking over the Fred Barron RC Real Flight Fly-In that happens on Monday nights, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Cali time. And yeah, what else, man? Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. You know where to find me. I'll see you in the next one. We're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. 3 you later. Yep, that's 3. I was about to be really embarrassed. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom. Bye, says Fred. Later. Thanks, y'all. Good times. Cool new little plane. Have a great night. See you, Bill.